Hey guys, 8-Bit here, and today we're going to be covering how to transfer your ROM files over to your RetroPie. Now, if you haven't built your RetroPie yet, make sure you check out my other video where I talk you through exactly how to go ahead and do that. So we're going to cover the 3 different ways today, and they're all available right on the RetroPie website as well. Here's that RetroPie website, and if you go to Docs, Getting Started, Transferring ROMs, this is what we're going to be covering today. This will have all the information you need to know, and if you have any questions, drop a comment, and I can answer them as well. As you can see here, there are 3 main ways to transfer ROMs. There's either using a USB stick, using SFTP, or Windows shares, and we're going to go through all 3 of those here today. So this is the first part we're going to be covering, is the USB stick. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get a USB stick, and we need to make sure it's formatted to FAT32. I have one here that I've already formatted to FAT32. So we need to create a folder called RetroPie on the USB stick. So we're going to go ahead and open up Windows Explorer here. And I've already got this as RetroPie transfer. So we're going to go ahead and create a new folder. And we're going to create this folder called RetroPie. It is saved. So we've got that taken care of. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to unplug it from our computer. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug it into our RetroPie system. So we're going to take that USB drive and we're going to plug it into one of the open slots on the Raspberry Pi. You'll see it blinking just to register the device. There it is. It'll start blinking here a second time. Now that's writing all the folders it needs to the actual thumb drive. So this takes about maybe a minute or so to do. And as it's doing it, it's putting all the folders on that we'll need to do to transfer any ROMs onto this thumb drive. We're showing this here in real time, so no big surprises here on the times. And there we are. It is all finished. Now we will go ahead and we will remove the thumb drive. Just wait a few seconds to make sure there's no more blinking lights that show up. All right, it looks like we're good. So we'll go ahead and we'll remove it. Oops, this is the case. Let's pull the thumb drive out. All right, we've gone ahead and taken that USB stick out of our RetroPie and plugged it back into our computer here. And we'll go into the RetroPie folder. And we now see we have these 3 folders here: BIOS, Configs, and ROMs. We're going to go into the ROMs. And these are all the systems that are kind of set up out of the box for the RetroPie. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do the Sega 32X. And the reason we're doing that is because there's very few games for that, so it's the easiest to look at. But we're going to go through, we're going to populate all of these eventually. So we'll go ahead and we'll open the Sega 32X folder, and then we'll go to our location on the computer that we have our ROMs. And we will go ahead and we will copy and we will drag these over. All right, so we went on the 32X games here. And what we're going to do as well, just to test a few things here, is we are going to transfer over one. Oh, I'm not going to transfer anything else over, just that. All right. So now we will go ahead and we'll unplug the USB drive. And we'll go plug it into our RetroPie. So we'll go ahead and put that thumb drive that had those 32X ROMs on it. We'll go ahead and insert that in the RetroPie, and you'll see that light start blinking. Again, it's just reading it, and now it's going to start the transfer of ROMs. And there we are. There's the ROM starting to transfer over from the thumb drive to the micro SD card. And now we're done. So here's our RetroPie. Again, it doesn't have anything on it. No games on it whatsoever. And now that that's all completely transferred, we're going to go and we are going to go to quit, and we're going to restart emulation station. So you can see now we've got the 32X games on it. And there are 35 games available here. So here they all are. All right. All right, we can now see we've got the 32X. So we're going to go into here and we're going to hit the start button. And we're going to run our scraper. Okay, so there's two different ways you can scrape it. You can scrape it from Screen Scraper or the Games DB. So we'll go either one of those you can do. We're going to do the Games DB. And since we only have one system, there's really not a whole other options you can do here. But we're going to go ahead and we'll hit scrape now. We only got the one system, so that's fine, and we'll hit start. So this will come up, and this will come up for every single game. This is why we did the 32X first, because there's only 35 games in here, and it will be much easier to do. So here's Afterburner, PC Racers, so you can see not all of them finds it, so we'll go back and we'll redo it again. Between the two databases, you can get everything. And again, this is just for manual scraping. In a future video, I'll show you how to do this automatically. There's 27 and 28, 29, almost there. Okay. So there was 7 games we couldn't find 4. So we're going to switch this to the Screen Scraper, and we're going to scrape it again. And we're going to do only the missing images, so it'll just do those 7 that we missed. So we'll hit start. So there's Echo the Dolphin. There's the FIFA International Soccer. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Spider-Man Web of Fire. Star Trek Fleet Academy Starship Bridge Simulator. World Series Baseball. And WrestleMania. All right. So now you can see we've got a list on the left-hand side here that has all the games listed. We got a picture of the game. We've got the number of players. We got it when it's released. We got what kind of game it is. So it's all here. And we can go in here and we can get one of these up and running to start. Why not Afterburner? First time you run, it's going to ask what emulator do you want to use as your default. We're going to use the Pico drive as the default emulator. That'll only come up on the first try. After that, it'll never show up ever again. Sega! There's that Sega that we love.
Get ready.
And we are up and playing Afterburner. Oops. And looks like we're crashing. And there's the crash. But as you can see, we're up and running now. We've got all these games up and running. And to exit out of here, you're going to want to hit that hotkey and start. That will restart the game. We'll bring you back to this menu here. Okay. Again, all these games here perfectly working. Everyone loves some Doom, right? So again, since we've only done that, we've done the initial setup on the what emulator to use. We'll never see that ever again. So we got our Sega, and we're in playing Doom. Let's do Nightmare, and we'll die real quick. Everyone loves Doom, right? So that's our 32X, and that's how we get that transferred with the USB device. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do it via the WinSCP, which is a program that we can use that will connect it wirelessly. So to use this, you have to be on the same network, and you need to make sure that you have some settings set in this correctly. So this is the next one we're going to cover, which is SFTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol. Now, you have to go to the SFTP SSH connection instructions on the SSH page here. Again, we're going to go through those right now to show you how to get that enabled, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to transfer some via this program. If you click on here, it talks about 3 different programs here. I prefer this WinSCP. This is the easiest to do it. There'll be a link to this program again in the description of this video. And that's the program that I'm going to be using to show you how to do this. So to enable the WinSCP, what you're going to want to do is you want to go to your RetroPie configuration. And you're going to want to do Raspberry config. And you're going to do interface options. And then you hit the left or right buttons to go between the number buttons and the select. And you're going to pick SSH. Would you like the SSH server to be enabled? You're going to click yes. Server's enabled, click OK. Go ahead and click finish. And now we've gone and enabled SSH on the RetroPie. The other thing you're going to want is you're going to want your Windows IP address. So if you click the Win IP, oops, the wrong button. If you show it to Show IP, this will show you your IP address on the network. So you can see here I'm 192.168.1.41. Okay? So you want to make a note of that or write it down somewhere or just remember it. So here's the WinSCP login, and we're going to go ahead in the host name. We're going to type our IP address, which is 192.168.1.41. Host name, or username rather, is going to be Pi, okay? That's what the default is unless you've changed it, but Pi is the default, and the password is going to be Raspberry, all lowercase. This says it doesn't match the SCP cache, just you can hit update or add. All right, so on the right-hand side here is everything that is on the RetroPie. On this left side here is everything that's on your computer, all right? So let's go ahead and do some Nintendo games. So we're going to go to my NES folder where I have all my NES ROMs. NES ROMs. Okay, so here's all my NES ROMs, all right? And then here we're going to go to RetroPie. We're going to go to ROMs. And again, on that web page it says that the NES ROMs go into the NES folder. So we'll go ahead and we're just going to transfer a couple of these right now. Okay? So let's pick some random amount here. And we're going to go and drag them right on over. All right, they're transferred. So let's go ahead and take a look at our RetroPie. Again, just shows the 32X, so we got to go to quit, and we got to go restart emulation station. Go ahead and restart it. And now you can see the Nintendo. So we've got 13 games, the 13 games we just transferred over. They were the ones we transferred over. They're all right here up and running. Okay? So we can go ahead and try Anticipation. Who remembers this game? I have no idea what this is. So that's how you get those up and running. And now you're up and running. You can scrape these again. And again, you scrape them. You're going to want to hit that start button. You're going to go scraper. And you're going to hit scrape now. So the systems, we only need to do the Nintendo now, okay? Because we've already done 32X. So we can go back after we've selected that. And then we hit start. So it didn't find Aladdin. It's an unlicensed game. So that's, not surprising. Some of these have better luck than others. Apparently we picked a good batch that they don't understand. So we're going to run through the other one. There's a very good, Screen Scraper is okay. The GamesDB definitely has better selection. You'll have less issues with it. So I generally start with that. So we'll go ahead and hit start. So you even found this. So here's when there's a conflict, okay? So it's telling me there's a conflict somewhere. It doesn't know which Aladdin this is because it's an unlicensed version from the Nintendo. So it's not quite sure what to use. So this is when you have a chance to pick whatever you want. So we're going to go up here and say this is the port of the NES game. We don't want that. This is the Famicom port, so we don't want that. Pirate hack of that game, so we don't want that. Disney's Aladdin. So this is Disney's Aladdin. Looks like it's from the Nintendo, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick that. There's Alfred Chicken, Alien 3, Alien Syndrome, All Pro Basketball, Alpha Mission, American Gladiators, Anticipation, that lovely game, Arch Rivals, Arkanoid. Again, the scraping is very time consuming, and again, I'll show you how to do that automatically in another video. All right, so there's our new setup, and there's the 13 Nintendo games we've transferred over. The third way to do this is you're going to type in the IP address right in Windows Explorer. So you're going to go back, you're going to go right to here, you're going to go //, and then type in the IP address. Okay, and there you are. So we're going to go to our ROMs, and we're going to go to our NES, and here's the ones that we've already transferred over previously. And then we're going to go and we're going to copy and paste the rest of our NES ROMs right in there. So here we go. We're transferring them right over. I got 949 we're going to be transferring. There's some doubles I have in my list, so. Now here's the ones that we've already on there. Go ahead and hit yes. Do this for all of them, hit yes. So we get the 13, we're going to skip those files since we've already transferred those over. And let's go take a look at our RetroPie. So again, we just used the 13 we had before. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to the main menu. And we're going to go to quit. And we're going to shut down. Oh, no, we're going to hit, no, we don't want to shut down. We're going to restart emulation station. And if we go into Nintendo now, we have 900 and something ROMs. If you look at the ones we transferred before, they'll still have in here. So here's the scrape data on here, and that's it. I hope you found that useful. Please make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to get future notifications of when more of my RetroPie videos come up. Feel free to check me out on my other social media platforms. There's a link in the description as well. Thanks.